Everybody, it's Chelsea. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about the Black Dahlia murder case and the conspiracies that surround this case. I'm not going to go into full detail about the murder case because there's already so many videos online, but I did want to go over a few of the conspiracy theories. But first, I want to tell you that the Black Dahlia, if you do not know, was Elizabeth Short. She was murdered gruesomely in downtown LA at 22 years old on January 15th, 1947. That is why I chose today to do this video, because it's on the anniversary of her death. And this death is one of the most notorious murders that is unsolved in the United States. Elizabeth was known to be a social butterfly, which brings us to the first conspiracy theory. Well, not really conspiracy theory, just one of the theories on Elizabeth Short, is a lot of people say that she was a prostitute. Now, I can't really say if she was or not because I wasn't there, but there is a lot of pictures that circulate on the internet of Elizabeth with all kinds of different men. But we also need to think that this was back in the 40s. This was a different time of an era, or different era, and a lot of women did not have a lot. And she left the East Coast to go to the West Coast to try to make something of herself. So she was most likely going out on a lot of these dates, as they would call them, just so that she could eat. Because that's just how things were done back then. Okay, and then there's another conspiracy theory that is that her death has something to do with the same murders as the Cleveland torso murders, which those murders all took place between 1935 and 1938, where 12 people were murdered. And the reason that everybody thinks this theory is because of the way she was murdered, that it's so relative and so closely to the same as the other 12 women that were murdered, or the other 12 murdered. So, with this theory, it would either have to be that the actual Cleveland torso killer lived in downtown LA at that time, or that he had moved to LA, or he was there visiting, or something along those matters. But then also, at the same time, the person that murdered Elizabeth Short could have drew his inspiration from the Cleveland torso murders. So, I mean, yeah, that is a good theory because of the way that she was murdered. So, therefore, maybe he did draw his inspiration from the Cleveland torso murders. And then, another theory surrounding Elizabeth Short's murder is that she was killed by a woman, because her murder was so emotional, and just the way that she was killed, it would make a person believe that a woman done it, because a woman does show more remorse and takes better care of the body, if that makes any sense, when they kill. So it's a possibility. And then the fourth conspiracy theory that I want to talk about with you is that George Hoddle is the murderer. And many people do believe that he was the murderer. And the reason why would be because George's own son, Steve, came forward to the police and said that his dad was Elizabeth Short's murderer. And there is a lot of statistics and stuff that's backing this theory up, because the police believed that whoever killed Elizabeth Short has surgical training because of the way that the body was cut and stuff. And George Hoddle is a surgeon. So that is one point of origin toward it. But then also, the same day that Elizabeth was murdered, a witness placed a vehicle that was in very similar resemblance to George Hoddle's at the scene of the accident, at the scene of the crime, or where her body was found. So there's something else supporting that George is the murderer. And then there was also the fact that George's secretary mysteriously was dead. And there's videotapings that would make you believe that he did kill his secretary so that he could cover up the fact that he actually did murder Elizabeth Short. So there's just a few tidbits that would support this theory that George is the murderer of Elizabeth Short. Now, those are the only theories that I really wanted to touch base on. There is a few others, but I don't really get too much into them because these are the 4 theories that I do believe could happen. And it could have been the truth, especially the fact that George was the murderer, because there's so much evidence that points toward the fact that he could have been the murderer. But then there's also evidence that the murderer could have got the evidence got his inspiration from the Cleveland torso murders because of the way that her murder ended up being. And then, just like with a female being the murderer, that could have possibly happened. Could possibly be it too, because you got to keep in mind, this is a crime that was never solved. So, I mean, there's a lot of potential out there as to what could have actually happened to Elizabeth Short. Now, I don't know exactly what happened to her, but in my opinion, I feel like if the case was reopened and some more evidence was done, and if they would start doing like the technology that we have to offer now, that we might one day solve this case. I'm hoping that we do. I hope that we solve any case that is unsolved. And I do truly believe with all the new technology and stuff coming out that it is a possibility for it to be solved. So, with that being said, I want to go ahead and end this video here. And I want to thank you guys for watching my channel. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, more theories and stuff, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be happy to do them. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. And I want to apologize real quick that I keep doing these videos in my vehicle. But the reason I am doing that is because you get better sound quality because I'm outside, I'm not around everybody, and it's better lighting. So, I'm going to try to work on that in the future, and hopefully soon I'll have a ring light so that I could do them inside more with it being winter. And, yeah, I want to thank you again for watching this video, and I hope you guys have a great day.